I'm James Spann. This is the afternoon edition of the Weather Xtreme video. This is for Tuesday, the 1st of October. Pretty easy forecast through Friday, then things get really complex with a cold front coming in, maybe a tropical storm blowing in from the south. A lot of questions and things to talk about, so let's do it. Let's go to some of the Skycam shots. A really nice day today. That's the view coming from Birmingham, looking south from the Daniel Building. Sky partly sunny. Very similar sky coming from Tuscaloosa. That is looking north from high atop the Tuscaloosa County Courthouse. And a good-looking sky over East Alabama, as seen from Chehaw State Park. There's an upper low near Monroe, Louisiana today. The showers with that feature staying west of the state. That upper low is under this ridge covering much of the southern states. The primary westerlies are up on the Canadian border. Temperatures this afternoon, mostly low 80s around here. Birmingham 82. We'll expect low to mid-80s in coming days, each day through Friday. Severe weather, not a problem today. We do note, though, late in the week, on day 4, let's see, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, that's Friday. I had to get my days correct here. That would be a severe weather risk for Des Moines, Iowa, Minneapolis, St. Paul, almost over to Milwaukee and Chicago. That's with a very strong system coming out of the high plain states, and we'll catch the trailing front. Here's the rain for the next 5 days. This carries us through Sunday morning at 7 o'clock, and this is suggesting rain amounts varying from a quarter inch in East Alabama to heavier amounts off to the west. But this is going to change dramatically tomorrow as a tropical system gets involved, and it looks like it might be the core of the heaviest rain could be a little east of here with the tropical system. That remains to be seen. A lot of uncertainty at this stage of the game. And let's talk about tropics. First off, Tropical Storm Jerry in the middle of the Atlantic will stay out in the middle of the Atlantic. That's going to drift east, and no threat at all to any landmass. This is the one to watch, just disorganized massive storms across the Caribbean. But the models develop this thing, and by golly, they all bring it north and then northeast in advance of the big trough. And you can see that there's a lot of spread here. You've got models running all the way from southeast Louisiana to just near Apalachicola. The midpoint of all of that would be around Pensacola. And again, if that northeast track is correct, and it should be now, we're getting pretty high confidence that this will be the case. That remember, the heaviest rain will be along and east of the circulation center. The west side is the dry side. So, again, that would suggest the heaviest rain with this, and again, a pretty good chance it becomes Tropical Storm Karen, would be over parts of Georgia and the Carolinas and maybe southeast Alabama as we go along. We'll take a look at a lot of maps here. Now, the GFS ensembles are a little bit of an outlier to the east. Most of the members bring it at some point over North Florida, the Florida Panhandle. And again, clearly on that track, the really big rains would be east of here. Still, it's going to rain this weekend with a cold front. Don't get me wrong, but in terms of heavy rain, maybe flooding issues with Karen, if this is right, the heaviest rain would stay east. Intensity guidance. Most models ramp it up to a tropical storm. And again, the name would be Karen. We note a few bring it to hurricane strength, Category 1 hurricane strength, before landfall. I would say odds are, looking at the SSTs and the upper air pattern, this is mainly going to be a big rainmaker. I think it will be a tropical storm. I think it will get the name Karen, but rain and flooding will be the big deal. Got a lot more maps to show you. Let's get into modeling. This is the GFS Global Forecast System, the 12Z run, valid at 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. This is at 500 millibars, about 18,000 feet off the ground. We've got that feature over Arkansas and Louisiana, and that should keep the showers west of here. We think the day will be dry, partly sunny, with a high in the low to mid-80s. Same thing Thursday, and the same thing Friday. Pretty straightforward forecast for the rest of the week. But notice on Friday, the players on the field there. You got a deep surface low over Kansas, 1,003 millibars. And again, if this were just a month later, it'd be a blizzard for parts of Nebraska and South Dakota. It's going to be a close call. It might be more rain than snow there. And that's why we're concerned about severe weather maybe erupting in the warm sector. Missouri, Iowa, places like that, maybe parts of Kansas. And then we've got what could be Tropical Storm Karen in the Gulf of Mexico that's south of Destin at midday Friday. But again, the day Friday should be dry. We don't expect rain for high school football Thursday or Friday night. All right, weekend fans, I know you got questions. We got weddings, we got football games, we got arts and crafts festivals. There's a lot going on. So let's talk about it. There's your big trough. And again, down below that, you can see a deep surface low near Minneapolis-St. Paul with a trailing front down through St. Louis and Dallas-Fort Worth. We've got which could be Tropical Storm Karen coming up on Panama City and Apalachicola. And remember, the GFS is an outlier to the east to some degree. But notice during the day Saturday, Alabama is still dry for the most part. So again, there's a reasonable chance that if you've got something planned during the day Saturday, at least Saturday morning, it will be dry. Now, no promises beyond midday Saturday, but this is suggesting Saturday morning would be dry, with rain creeping in here Saturday afternoon. This is late Saturday night, just after midnight, and still, most of the state is dry. But again, I sure can't promise that. With a cold front coming in, a tropical storm coming in, I'm not so sure it's going to be dry. We're going to mention a good chance of rain Saturday night despite this. And then Sunday at midday, this is 1 o'clock Sunday afternoon, cold front producing showers here, a tropical storm down in South Georgia around Valdosta with the big rains from that east of here. But again, I caution you, the GFS model is an outlier to the east. Let's look at some other models. This is the Hurricane Wharf. This is valid Saturday afternoon at 1 o'clock, and it's got that thing coming in basically at Orange Beach, Gulf Shores, southern Baldwin County, as a formidable tropical storm. And, of course, that would obviously mean some pretty rotten and windy weather for the southern part of Alabama Saturday morning with deteriorating conditions on the Gulf Coast. Still, for the northern half of the state, Saturday morning could be dry, but certainly we'll start to bring in the chance of rain Saturday afternoon. And, of course, you got that front off to the west as well. This is the GFDL Saturday morning at 7 a.m., and that doesn't bode well for football in Tuscaloosa and Auburn. It's got a tropical storm that is inland over southwest Alabama. It's a little bit of an outlier to the west, and it's faster than the other models. Let me show you a fine grid look at this. This is valid just after midnight Friday night, 1 a.m. Saturday. The GFDL brings this thing into Dauphin Island as a tropical storm. The max 10-meter wind is 72 knots. And that's not surface wind, that's 10-meter wind, but that would be pretty close to a hurricane if this is correct. So that would put a lot of storm surge, flooding problems on the Alabama Gulf Coast, obviously, and that would be a big problem. But remember, this is somewhat of an outlier to the west. You got models all the way from southeast Louisiana to below Tallahassee. We just don't know yet. We've got to get this thing organized. It's disorganized. This is not a time to be focusing on one solution. We're just saying that is an idea that is on the board. So clearly we'll mention a chance of rain for the weekend. The rain might be heavy, depending on the track of this thing. And again, I think the main window for rain, we're going to go 3 p.m. Saturday to 3 p.m. Sunday. But look at the GFS now. This is Monday, and it keeps rain in here with an upper trough swinging through. So there's all kind of uncertainty in when it starts, when it stops. But again, this does not jive up nicely with other runs. But with the tropical system involved, it's just a wild card. But again, we'll stay with our current ongoing forecast. The main 24-hour window, 3 o'clock Saturday until 3 o'clock Sunday afternoon. Rain could be heavy. The heaviest rain, more than likely, would be south and east of Birmingham. But everybody in the state clearly will get wet. But I think Monday conditions should begin to improve, although we're looking at this now, and if we keep seeing this, we'll have to insert rain Monday. Then Tuesday, we're dry, nice and cool. We could be in the 40s early Tuesday morning. All right, let's go out there a little later. This is October the 14th. Nice trough over the northeast United States, upper low out west. Down below that, a nice, cool continental air mass. And the end of the forecast on the 17th, that will be cool and dry, if that is correct. That's it for the Weather Xtreme video this afternoon. We'll have notes in the blog. Next video here by 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. And if you can, catch us on ABC 3340 News this evening on the live stream or the television side at 4, 5, 6, and 10. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful evening, and God bless.